Let's just get right into it. There is a silent system that's operating in your life right now. It's watching you, it's learning you, it's reprogramming you little by little. The scariest part? You probably just felt a little something, a flicker of an idea. You assumed it was your own thought. It wasn't.
Let me just ask you, when you're scrolling, who is really choosing your next click? Really? Is it actually you? Or is something else guiding your hand? Here's the first thing we have to wrap our heads around. Most of what we do online, it's not really a conscious choice. We're being guided. We're being nudged.
No, I'm serious. Think about it for a second. That last video you watched, the last article you opened up, why that one? Out of all the other options, you probably think you chose it. You were guided to it.
This all comes from a science called behavioral engineering. What that means is the digital world you spend all your time in, it's not a neutral space. No, it is a meticulously crafted environment specifically designed to steer your actions in ways you won't even pick up on. You're the subject. It all starts with really simple things. A bright red notification badge, a flashy yellow buy now button. Those colors aren't picked because they look nice. They're chosen to trigger a very specific emotional response in your brain, like urgency or curiosity.
How about the timing? Ever notice how that notification pops up right when your attention starts to drift away from what you're supposed to be doing? That's not a coincidence. These systems are literally designed to sense when you're disengaging, and bam, pull you right back in at the perfect moment.
Of course, the placement. Buttons and links, they are strategically positioned exactly where your eyes are predicted to land. They aren't just there by accident. They are put there to make the action they want you to take the absolute path of least resistance.
Here's the real kicker. The reason all of this works so unbelievably well is because you don't question it. You just trust the interface. You believe you're the one in charge. That trust is the key that unlocks this whole system of influence. But this builds into something much, much more powerful. You don't just use your phone anymore. You crave it. We're talking about an addiction you might not even realize you're defending every single day. Get this. Your phone works on the exact same psychological principle as a casino slot machine. It's called a variable reward schedule. Sometimes you pull down to refresh and you get a new message, something exciting. Other times, you get nothing. It's that total unpredictability that creates an almost obsessive craving, a need to check and check again. That's not a habit, my friend. That's conditioning.
You've got to understand what the prize is in this whole game. It's not your money, it's your attention. That is the single most valuable thing you own. It's being mined from you every single second you are online.
Now, this system doesn't just play on your cravings. It also weaponizes your deepest emotions. Because fear doesn't ask for permission. It just takes over.
Have you ever stopped to wonder why bad news just seems to travel infinitely faster than good news? These words, these aren't just headlines. They are carefully engineered weapons designed to completely bypass your rational mind.
The goal is incredibly simple: to move you from a state of thinking to a state of pure reaction. Fear basically shuts down the logical part of your brain. Once you're just reacting, you're not thinking anymore. You're just responding. That is exactly when you are the easiest to control. It's not just your own internal emotions being used against you. The system also leverages the behavior of everyone else to program you. Let's dig into how the crowd itself becomes a tool of influence. Let's do a quick thought experiment. You see two videos, same title, same thumbnail. One has 2 views, the other has 2 million. Which one do you click? Come on, be honest. You click the one with 2 million views. Instantly. And that right there, social proof in action.
And this is the critical piece you have to get. Your brain is hardwired with this little shortcut. If everyone else is looking at something, well, it must be important, it must be true. But in the digital world, mass attention doesn't mean something is true. It just means it's influential, and you're swimming in it.
So what do you think happens when you are repeatedly exposed to these influential ideas over and over again? This is where the programming gets really, really deep. This is how your actual perception of reality can be edited without you ever noticing it's happening.
Think about it like this. You hear something once, you might question it. You hear it 10 times, and, well, it starts to sound kind of familiar, maybe plausible. But when you start hearing it everywhere, from different people on different platforms, your brain just accepts it as truth. You're not updating your beliefs. They are being installed. And now we get to the final level, the most profound conclusion of all this. This entire system, It doesn't just shape what you think about the world. Ultimately, it shapes who you are, what you think is normal.
This is the algorithmic feedback loop. First, it studies every little thing you do. Then it predicts what will keep you engaged. Then it feeds you more of exactly that. The same opinions, the same emotions, the same patterns. And with every single click, it refines its model of you, trapping you in this bubble. This version of reality designed specifically to keep you hooked. You didn't find it, it found you.
So here's the hard truth that most people will just never accept. You are being programmed. Not in some dramatic, obvious way, but slowly. Every single day. Every scroll you make trains your attention. Every click you make shapes your thinking. And if you don't interrupt it, it will define who you become. Most people, they'll feel a little uncomfortable watching this, and then they'll go right back to scrolling. Back to the same old patterns. Back to being controlled. Don't do that. Start noticing what's pulling your attention and ask yourself why. Start questioning what you consume instead of just absorbing it. The most important thing you can do is consciously break the loop. I just want to leave you with this one final question. Because the moment you stop consciously thinking for yourself, you don't just exist in a vacuum. You hand your mind over to something else. So who or what is doing the thinking for you?